Good morning, everybody. I'm not really sure where to start. It's been a while. Spring is here. We had a beautiful rainy night last night with some lightning, and all the plants are starting to come back after our very, very mild winter. We have all of our koi here and goldfish. We're missing a few. Some of them didn't make it through the winter, but we realized that it was probably the frogs that live here and probably ate the smaller ones and the more chunky ones that can't get away. But the koi are big enough, and the comet goldfish seem to be big enough to get away from them. But some of them are little goldfish with they had like little pudgy tummies and little fantails. They're just not quick enough to get away from the predators, so we're not going to get those anymore. We're going to stick with our crew and let them grow out and enjoy the space that they have. So I'm just going to take you on a little run around the garden, show you what's looking good. I just replanted this guy. I'm going to probably get some petunias today and put those in between the rosemary. This gets a lot of sun, but I do think it needs a little bit of color. This one is a sedum that survived the winter and is already flowering, so that's really nice. I decided this year that I'm going to let a lot of these oak leaves just stay on the ground and just be my mulch. We're kind of fighting the oak tree drops, and when you have a tree that's 300 years old, like this beauty that we absolutely adore, you know, you have to do what you have to do, and she needs her nutrients from her leaves, so we're going to let some of those stay. I had a yellow bells Esperanza, and here in Texas we call them Texas yellow bells. So it was in a gallon, actually a 3-gallon pot, and what I did is once I took it out of the pot, I realized there was actually 3 different plantings, so I planted 3 different Esperanzas in my yard. There's one over there in that space. This bougainvillea is just absolutely gorgeous, and that one overwintered inside. I put it outside, and this is what it's given me. Now keep in mind that you do have to keep these fertilized really well. I do a weekly fertilizer. Right now I'm using Miracle-Gro rose food. Anything that's good for roses or any flowering plants is great for this. So yeah, she's doing really great and just adds a beautiful pop of color. So this is also fun. These are some things I planted last summer. So this is a Rose of Sharon. She seems extremely happy. She's probably at least tripled her size since I put her in. This plant here, this is a Texas hibiscus. So it's a hibiscus that's native to our region, so it should do really well. Over here I have a almond verbena, and it's just taken off, y'all. So I'm enjoying that, and then when it blooms it smells like almond paste, and it's incredible. So, and over here I have a Vitex. I actually have 2 Vitex, so we're sort of trying to have a little bit of a screen to the, you know, just a little bit more privacy to the neighbors. Eventually what I'd like to do is put up a fence similar to the one in the back here, where it goes a little bit more up and blocks out a little bit more of, you know, the neighbor stuff. We do have a lot of privacy. It's just, those are just kind of things that are on my list. So we have also this year an abundance of ladybugs and ladybug larvae. If you look back at some of my earlier videos, I set out a whole bunch of ladybugs. I bought them and I set them out in my yard, and they are thriving. So these guys, I have 3 tomatoes, I have some aromas, and also have these little yellow pear tomatoes. And they, after last night's rain, they're just happy as can be. And you can see how many flowers I have on all of these. So yeah, there's flowers will bear fruit. And I just stuck this little basil, it's a tri-basil, and I stuck that in there, and I think that'll be a good companion plant for that. lot of times what I like to do is plant things for, like, I used to call them pizza gardens, but now I'm doing a lot more pastas and sauces and things, so I can make a nice sauce with aromas and some basil. I also, with aromas, make a salsa, and I have a huge amount of cilantro. When we get to the other side of the garden, I'll show you where some cilantro just decided to pop up. It's going to seed. It's flowering, so basically it becomes a coriander. And inside of these 2 pots, I have pomegranate trees I put in last summer, and they came back. They were little sticks over the winter. I was concerned, but man, first sign of spring around here, and they have leafed out and are loving life. So I have this other tomato. This is a big boy tomato. So this one's just gonna put out some beautiful tomatoes, like something that you would slice up for a good sandwich. So here's our prairie garden. And, you know, surprise, surprise, I don't know what's gonna come up. I think that some of these, I know I planted more poppies this year. We'll see if those come up. And I think we should have some more bee balm. I'm trying to figure out what this is. And if anyone knows, please let me know. I'm thinking it could be, I don't know, honestly, I shouldn't even guess. But yeah, it's just such a great spot of our yard. It is a no-mow zone, so, you know, it allows nature to take its course and do what it wants to do. Of course I put seeds, but you know. So here's our little rosemary I put in here. Thought that was really pretty. So here we go. This is my bad. I decided this thing was infested. The entire thing was basically one big anthill, and I did put some ant killer in it. Sorry y'all, but I had to do it. That was the only way. But now I don't feel like I should put food in the same trough as this fire ant killer, so I'm gonna make this into a wildflower cutting trough. So I'll just put some flowers, cutting flowers in here, which I think will be really pretty. I'm looking forward to maybe trying some sunflowers and things like that. Let me back up a little bit because I've missed out. I have a peach tree that is just popping with peaches already. Look at that. Not sure if you can see that. But yeah, we got lots of peaches on this one. And the other one over here is not so much. She's not as happy. She's doing good. I think she's just still in a growth stage of her life and not really producing. I don't think I see one single peach on there. That's okay. She'll catch up. And it rained last night, so these are looking a little tattered, but these are our native buttercups. They're just gorgeous. They'll perk up later. Right now they're just kind of droopy. But I love that they have that native look. This is one of our absolutely stunning cactuses. It's taken a little bit of a beating over the years, but you know, all the pieces that fall off, I just keep propagating. And this is all northern sea oats, so I've allowed it to just grow because I just think it's really pretty and whimsical. The dogs have made a little trail through it here, and it's so cute. They all come through here and they chomp on some grass and all that stuff. This is a little spice garden I have. I would like to get this out of here and maybe into the open sun a little bit more, but this thing weighs 5 tons. It's so heavy. So yeah. So over here I have my beloved Artemisia. This is one plant, guys. One plant. And it's stellar. The light hits it in the morning. It glows. Just to the smell and touch of it, you can run your hands through it, and it's incredibly fragrant. And I love it. So I planted another one over here in this little spot right there. And I also put one over by the pond. There's another one right there. So these are some of our cactuses that we overwintered inside. And I just stuck them in here in the garden, and they're doing really good. This is the year that I'm doing a lot of propagating, so I have divided all of my bougainvillea, and they are coming back, but some of them are a little slow. Right here is a rock rose, and that has quadrupled in size, and it will also, once it goes to seed, I'm hoping that I'll have more of those that'll just kind of make themselves comfortable in this rock garden. I have 2 Rose of Sharon, this one, and I just planted this one. This garden has been so difficult. I really don't know what's going on with it. I used to swear that somebody poured Roundup in this garden. So, but I did get the Rose of Sharon to grow. The fountain is in repair right now. It needs some love. So right now I just have it off. Some of the finials, the little fleur-de-lis, are actually rotting. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Let's see if I can order those from the company. And the vine that you see growing on the back of the fence is just a wild vine that's growing from the back greenbelt. But I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. It's just, yeah, it's gorgeous. I do have to try to keep it out of my oak tree here. So I have to come up there with a rake every once in a while and just kind of pull it down. When we first moved here, it was, the entire tree was covered in it. So we had to have somebody come and uncover it. And I'm sure it'd be really happy to get itself back up there, but we're gonna try to avoid that. So these are some plants here. This is another one that I bought at our local grocery store, and it was a $20 pot, and when I broke it apart I got 5 plants from it. So I went ahead and propagated those, and I have them in pots all over, and they'll fill out really nicely. This is a really shady area of the garden, so I think they'll do really well. And then over here in this area, all of this is full sun in the afternoons. I usually have to put tarps over my vegetables because the sun just bakes everything. That's kind of an overview of the backyard. So, a lot of things that I have are going to be in pots. These Thai plants all overwintered inside, and they're back out and flourishing and doing great. If I would have left those out, they would be dead. They'd be nothing. And then I went ahead, I had these little cone planters from another season. Everything that was in it kind of died off, but I went and bought these little pots, and I literally stuck the whole pot in there, and I had done absolutely nothing. So it's in the little pot, fit perfectly. I haven't touched them in 3 weeks, and they don't need me. They're doing great, and I'm happy for that. So over here, I like to keep things simple. My husband has his peppers, so he has those in his big pots, and he likes to grow peppers. That's his thing. So, and of course there's always the dirty side, you know, that's where I keep all my rakes and everything. There's our little ladybugs climbing up the tree. And here's the back side of our greenhouse, and we have our pond. This is our second, actually this is our first pond that we put in. We were just kind of getting into it, and then when we realized how much we love it, we love ponds. The water features and the life back here and the wildlife is just incredible. So these guys do really well because they're pretty protected from everything. I haven't had any losses in here, knock on wood, and it's doing really well. It needs a little bit of water, but yeah, everybody's happy in there. Probably going to be getting some more pond plants, fill that in a little bit more. I like to see what's going to come back first. For instance, that is a lily, but it's not looking promising, but I'll give it a chance to see if anything pops up. And here is my crazy cilantro. Look at that. I don't even know how it got there, but it's there. And I have it blocked off because I do have dogs. I don't want them going near it. And this garden here, everything's in a pot because It's clay. I can't get anything to grow. I have a few things that took. Some of this Liriope here is just struggling along. So we'll give it a chance. Maybe this year it'll do something. And everything else is in a pot. So everything looks so dusty and yucky right now from all the pollen that falls off of these oaks. Man, it's a struggle trying to keep up with it. And this is the little garden area I have for when I have plants that I'm keeping for jobs in our little greenhouse. And I have been cleaning back here, so there's a little bit of disarray. I'm gonna try to get rid of that cabinet and some tables that are falling apart. Just some spring cleaning. Alright, y'all, so we're on the side of the house here, and all of this is coming back. This is some salvia in here. Wait, hold on. Here, and then I have some lantana, all from last year, so that's great. And a garden that I worked on yesterday, I went and I got some natives, but also found some fern that I thought was really pretty, and I put it in a pot and kind of created some height. Those are so easy. And when there's a drought, they hold all their water in the little pods. If you've ever looked at one at the roots, they have these little round pods that hold a lot of water. Here's a native Blackfoot daisy that I installed. We have another Rose of Sharon. There's some ajugas, more Artemisia. And these guys, this is the tick seed. And they put out these little yellow flowers. Beautiful little flowers. And those actually will spread. I do have more ajuga here, but I think the doodlebugs are getting it because they're kind of chomping at it. I see some new growth, so we'll see how that does. It's not dead, it just looks a little tattered. And there's a bougainvillea that is more in the growth stage, but I do see some color coming through here. So I'll probably go ahead and hit that with some more fertilizer, nitrogen rich fertilizer, and see how that goes. So I also yesterday propagated a pot of this and installed it into this little moped potter, and then I put the other piece in here. So again, I made 2 plants out of 1. Doing my best to try to save money this year on plants because the summers are just brutal, and I'm afraid of wasting money again and buying things. They sell you all these tropicals at the big box stores that just are not gonna survive. It breaks my heart every time I see somebody walking around with stuff I knew was not gonna survive. So again, here I have more native Blackfoot daisy that actually overwintered from another garden I'll show you in a little bit, at the butterfly garden, and it's come back beautifully. So I have more Artemisia. The reason why I'm having so much Artemisia is because it does well. So one of my biggest, my biggest advice is just, if you find something that works, replicate it. And that's what I'm doing. So I knew that the Blackfoot daisy does well here. So I'm going ahead and gonna pop that in everywhere I can, and it comes back. So, you don't have that money you're just throwing away. This is a different variation of Artemisia that I stuck inside these rocks last year, and they're all popping back up. So I'm really happy with that because it's the same plant, it just has a really cool texture to it, and I'm looking forward to that. This is another tick seed, and you can see this one I didn't break up as much. Some of them you can kind of already see. I'm gonna get on top so you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4. You can almost see how you should break it up. So you would come through here and then again break it up here from the root and just gently pry it apart. And then that's how I've been getting these smaller patches that I stuck everywhere. So that would be a patch, and that would be a little patch. And I'm sure around here somewhere there's the other parts of that. And here are my bougainvillea again. So pretty. Clearly my favorite plant in the garden. And this is a spiral boxwood. Does great. I haven't really had to do much to it. I do have a lot of plumbago that's popping back up. So with time and patience, I'll have that little pop of blue, and that will contrast with all the yellows. And then the yellows and the tick seed are complemented by the yellow inside of the Blackfoot daisy. You don't have to do things like that. That's just my thought process. I always like to throw in some purples. So this is another plant that does incredibly well here. It's the Wandering Dude. Goes by many names, but that's the only one I can remember. So that one's doing great. And here's some driftwood that I found. You'll see that a lot in my gardens. If I find some driftwood, I like to just stick it in there. This is one I salvaged somewhere along the line. So this is the bougainvillea. These are actually leaves, but if you look inside here, I mean really, that's actually the flowers. And it's stunning. It's incredible. So over here I have a little colony that I'm creating of these guys. I absolutely love these little barrel cactuses, and I found out that they do like to live in colonies. So I went ahead and got a couple more this year, and I have to cover them up pretty good. I had lost one, and I'm not 100% sure if this guy is gonna make it. It's not looking good down there, but it's still hard, so who knows, it might come back. I need to get more rock because you want to make sure that it doesn't stay wet. But I think they look better in groups, and I have this away from like our walkway so that nobody like me steps on it or trips on it. So those are my little barrel cactus. That's my barrel cactus colony. And we have our red yuccas. I'm thinking about going ahead and thinning these out and also spreading these around the yard, but there's some blooms, so I'm gonna leave these alone until after they bloom. These guys, believe it or not, will get as tall or taller than me, and the hummingbirds love it. So I'm looking forward to that. These things are pretty much bulletproof around here. And these are some little pots. I got these topiaries on clearance for $7 each. That's an incredible deal. So I put those in there, but I want to fill them with some sort of native flower that will trail. And I have the blue salvia again. My idea here is to have it kind of lining this garden here and then through there. And it's grown a lot. I have some pink guara that's survived the summer. And there's some Gulf mully grasses here. Those are the pink ones. So we'll see how those do. I had mulch around here, but like I said, I'm fighting the oak leaves, and I'm just starting to give in. And I had some beautiful little random bluebonnets show up. And so I'm really looking forward to having this whole strip in front of the house as a little wildflower run. And this is my butterfly garden. This is my next project, to get all this filled back in. I have the Artemisia again. I have the Blackfoot daisy and the Greg's mistflower. And I have one little blue-eye grass that I borrowed, and well, I might have taken it from a neighbor's yard. And I didn't think it survived, and it did. So I'm hoping to get more of those around the butterfly garden. And a friend of mine gave me some Black-Eyed Susan startups. She had them all over her yard right here. So I'm doing little colonies of those. And apparently they'll just spread around like wildfire, so we're gonna go ahead and get those started. We still have some more salvias popping up. This is a 4-nerve daisy that's a native. That's from last year. And this is, oh my gosh, fennel. And it's really pretty. It sort of turns like a bronzy color. And since it's a butterfly garden, I've heard that they like that. So anything that I know that butterflies will like, I try. But I have lots of space where some things didn't survive. And I'm looking forward to filling all this in. I ordered a new solar fountain because this one died. And I'll fill that up. I mean, I get everything from butterflies to vultures in here. That's insane. So they're just so thirsty in the summer. I try to keep all my water bowls and fountains full. Whatever was in here is not there anymore. So I have lots of space to add things. I'm looking forward to getting our butterfly garden back up in order. And it's really, it looks terrible right now, but you know, with a little TLC, she'll be back up and running. And I'm gonna end this video with this bluebonnet because she's amazing. And thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. And if you can like and subscribe and share, let people know about my little channel, I appreciate it. And if there's any questions, obviously, definitely ask me. And if I have the answer, I will get to you. Thanks a lot, everybody. Y'all have a great day.